Goddamn, Sam.
Knew about quarterly and stuff earlier, because like with our clothing, I like to go in every 3 months. Like, I know I can't do my taxes, but I like to go through and just write everything down and get out my expenses, because if I wait 12 months, I might
nobody
not
knows
remember.
in February.
Exactly.
In February of the following year, what they did in January, February of the previous year.
But I be knowing though. Because you know what I'm saying? It's just my thing. It's just what I do. So I'll be remembered, because I'm big on profit and loss.
Yeah.
But you know what's going in and out. But like you were saying earlier, when you just because you see $20,000 in your bank account, don't mean you got $10,000 to pay yourself.
No.
And that's a big misconception with a lot of people in the entrepreneur world, and that's why they go under. We have to have somebody that can teach us finances and teach us, because if you have $20,000 in a bank account, but your bills are $5,000 a month, and you're not preparing for what's coming, because anything can happen.
Anything happens.
COVID hit us, and nobody knew. If it wouldn't have been for SBA and PPP loan, a lot of people would have been fucked. And a lot of people were fucked.
A lot of people were
You know
fucked.
what I'm saying? But before COVID shut down, when everybody was just getting sick and nobody knew we needed help, so a lot of shit was going bad. But that's like one of the main things in business, is knowing your expenses and all of that, and what you got to do. And even some people like don't understand in the clothing world, especially. What I see is, okay, we dropped this summer line. Cool. Summer line going June, July, August. Well, it's time for fall. They haven't sold all of the summer line. So now you have to re-up. You got $15,000 worth over here left with summertime, but now you need to buy another 15 for fall. So then you got $30,000 invested. You got fucking employees, you know what I'm saying, and you got expenses. But okay, so now I'm a little behind. I got photo shoots and shit. But then, well, look at here, winter is right around the corner. Now the winter shit comes in, and now we talk about bigger jackets and joggers. So now it goes from a $5 t-shirt to a $25 jacket, and then before you know it, you damn near looking at $100,000 in. So you know what I'm saying? You got to kind of have your flow, understand what you're doing. I see a lot of clothing companies, they'll get summer gear, and then they don't re-up till they'll let winter go by. You know what I'm saying? Because they don't have the money to go back, and they waiting on everything to sell out.
Right.
That shit don't happen like that.
Doesn't happen. And then with fashion, things change. So your summer line is hot in 22.
Exactly.
It's going to be outdated in 23.
And then the same thing to touch on, even though we were speaking about restaurants earlier, it's the same thing. I might buy 100 baked potatoes, but that don't mean I'm gonna sell all them motherfuckers. And I don't come in there and cook 100. You know what I'm saying? I gotta find my flow and know, okay, I usually do 12 a day. I might cook a little 13, 14 a day, and then when I get to number 9, hey, Pops, put another 3 on the stove. And even like as far as let's go into like the nightclub, because it's a lot of entrepreneurs that own nightclubs and restaurants. I know we were speaking on as far as liquor tax. How do you do taxes with liquor and all of that?
That is a specialized thing that I've learned. So with the state of Texas, they assume with mixed beverage, anything that you buy, you sell. And it's up to you as a business owner to prove, to keep the records to show, okay, no, I didn't. I gave some of it away. I poured the wrong thing. Some of it got stolen. Things like that. So you have to keep adequate records with the state. And the state actually, a lot of people don't know that the state has a database that anytime you go and buy wholesale liquor, that you give your liquor license, that's anything that you buy is in that database. Yeah. So they have a record of what you purchased.
Right. So they know everything.
They know what you bought.
You just have to have to accommodate for where it went.
Correct.
So that you have to make sure. And even like you said, if you gave it away, I might have gave the pretty girls in the section, I gave them 2 bottles of what is it they like to drink now? Casamigos. There you go. Look at you. If I gave them girls 2 bottles of Casamigos, that ain't shit. You still have to pay the tax on that. You got to pay the tax on everything. So yeah, and that's a big thing that a lot of people don't know and understand. Uncle Sam wants his money.
Uncle Sam wants his money. The state of Texas wants their money.
Right.
Because even in Texas, like I know we're focusing on federal taxes with the IRS, but the state comptroller wants their portion too.
Speak on them. Speak on some of the things that the state comptroller. Is that with the franchise tax and all?
Yes, that's what franchise tax is.
Cool.
So
I want to get into that.
Right, because so Texas doesn't have a state tax. We have a sales tax here in Houston, it's 8.25%, but depending on the city you go in, it may change. Some cities are higher, some cities are lower. But the state of Texas, because there's no state tax, they impose a tax on all businesses, meaning LLC. So when you file your LLC, by default, you are signing up or assigned a franchise tax. The franchise tax is due, the report's due in May of each year, and you report the sales from the prior year. So this is what, 22? In May of this year, you report the sales that you generated in 2021 for the calendar year. So January 1st through December 31st. If you did not generate over $1.1 million, then there's no tax due. But you still have to file the report and tell them that. Because I get a lot of people that come in and say, hey, I got this letter from the state. It says I owe. And what they do is, if you miss that deadline, that filing reporting deadline, they impose a late filing penalty, and then they send out these letters and they estimate how much you owe them. And a lot of people get that letter and say, oh, I owe the state like $1,500. I didn't make any money last year. It's like, okay, that's fine, but you didn't tell them that. So they're just gonna automatically, of course, they're in the business of making money.
Right.
So you have to file that.
You have to let them know.
You have to let them know.
And I think even too, with that, I want to say that franchise tax, sometimes like even doing real estate, if that is not current, they won't even let you sell a property.
Correct.
Right.
So you have to stay current with your franchise, because then your business will not be in good standing or active status.
Right.
So then it goes into from active status to involuntarily terminated, or it's basically on hold. So they like, look, file these reports, and then after that, then it goes into forfeiture, where you can't do anything with your business at all. Your business is been essentially closed down by the state.
So basically, being an entrepreneur is a job that never turns off.
No, it doesn't turn off.
It don't turn.
It doesn't turn off. Everybody wants to be a boss, but there's a lot that goes.
It's a lot that goes into it. When you work for somebody, when you get off work, you go home.
You go home.
But when you the boss, you have to go home.
You go
plan
home and
for
work
tomorrow.
Yes.
And everything. It's a stress.
It is a stress. It's a great reward, but there's also great stresses.
It ain't for everybody, and everybody make it sound cool. Yeah, it's cool, but if it's not for you,
that's fine.
That's fine.
Being an employee is just as cool.
Exactly.
Like, it's just as cool. I promise you. But